Hi guys, this is JB and Minot. This is part 7 of my Nintendo DS collection. Kirby, Canvas Curse. This is the first Kirby game to come out on the DS, and what you do is instead of using your D-pad to move Kirby, you use your stylus to draw paths for Kirby to go through. Kirby Squeak Squad. Kirby Superstar Ultra. I believe there are about 5 separate Kirby games in this collection. Now, I believe they're all new games too. Conductra. Outstanding yet hard puzzle game. It fell under the radar. What you have are these you have these bricks, and and they're divided into 2 separate colors, and you have to place the bricks so that they form the pattern that's on the top screen. And then what you have to do is you have to take your stylus and scroll along all the bricks and all the colors into one move to break the bricks, therefore going on to the next puzzle. And you got to do this before the screen fills up. Excellent puzzle game, but very, very tough. Konami Classic Series arcade hits. It's got Contra, it's got Russian Attack, it's got a couple of obscure games, Circus Charlie, Horror House. Nights in the Nightmare. This is the game that made me start paying attention to what publishers are publishing games. And it made me an Atlas fan. It made me realize that Atlas tends to do things a little differently from everybody else. But if you're an RPG fan and if you're a puzzle fan, this is one of the best DS games out there, period. It's fantastic. The graphics look good. The game is fun to play. It's fun to learn. It's a very steep learning curve, but you have a lot of fun learning and making your mistakes. And I really, really, really enjoyed this game. It's a blast. Karupoto. Cool stars. This is a puzzle game where you have this star in a maze and you have to guide it to a halo. Now, the twist is, instead of moving the star with your D-pad, what you do is you use the buttons to turn the maze around to make the star fall down. And you keep turning the maze in various ways to make the star fall into the halo. And that's the goal of each puzzle. It's a pretty good puzzle game. It's from UFO. They usually make cheap stuff, but I enjoyed it. It's a great puzzle game. Labyrinth. This is an adaptation of the classic arcade game where you're twisting and turning this maze to make this ball reach its goal, and you're doing it in a timely manner. It's pretty good. Left Brain, Right Brain. Left Brain, Right Brain 2. These are basically a bunch of mini games where you first have to accomplish them using your right hand, then you have to accomplish them using your weak hand, or your left hand, or vice versa if you're left-handed. These games will be a lot more funner. It's just they're not really as difficult as they should be. They're actually kind of easy for the most part, and like I said, if they were harder, it'd be a lot more funner. But other than that, the legendary Starfy. I guess the critics made a big deal about it, but it seems most to me like it's kind of a Kirby clone. Only I don't think the controls are as responsive. It feels like you're dragging a chain around trying to get the Starfy to move. So I didn't like this game all that much, to tell you the truth. The Legend of Cage 2, great action game, action ninja game, especially the boss battles. They're really interesting and fun. It's The Legend of Cage 2. The Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass. And The Legend of Zelda, Spirit Tracks. Both of those are good games. What I really love are the puzzle elements. They're pretty good. So they're pretty fun games, but they seem like they're made for kiddies mostly. But you know what? I really enjoyed it. Lego Rock Band. It's played almost like Rock Band Unplugged for the PSP, only, I don't know, it just doesn't seem as fun. Learn Math, basically a bunch of mini games that teach kids how to learn math topics. If you got little kids, they might enjoy this. Life Science Surgical Unit. This is kind of like Trauma Center. It's just as fun, but you know, it's a pretty good clone of Trauma Center. Line Rider 2 Unbound. You basically have this bike and it's on a track, and what you have to do is you have to finish the track and finish at the right angles and whatnot to make sure that the bike doesn't crash, or the sled actually doesn't crash. Lionel Trains on Track. Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue. It's a shooter, kind of like that game that you see out on the minis now, Vampire or Dracula, The Undead Awakening or something like that, where you're basically just killing hordes and hordes of monsters with your shotgun and whatnot. Locke's Quest. It is a tower defense game. It's where you're basically building walls to protect yourself. It's pretty colorful. It's a pretty good game, but it's not as responsive as I'd like it to be. Looney Tunes. This is kind of like Looney Tunes' version of Elite Eight Agents, only with Looney Tunes songs. Looney Tunes Duck Amuck. I think these are a bunch of mini games starring Daffy Duck. The critics really liked this game. I thought it was a bit overrated. Lord of the Rings Conquest. Lost in Blue. You're basically a little boy surviving a shipwreck on a desert island and you're finding ways to survive. Lost in Blue 2. Lost Magic. Lunar Dragon Song, a beautiful looking RPG, but I haven't really played it yet. Lunar Nights. This is a sequel to a famous game off the Game Boy Advance. Unfortunately, the name doesn't come to mind right now. I should know it, but it's a pretty good action game where your powers work depending on what time of day it is and how much sun and moon you get. But it's a pretty cool game. Mage Knight, Destiny Soldier. And last but not least, Magician's Quest, Mysterious Times. This looks to be kind of like an Animal Crossing clone, only with wizards instead of just regular people and animals. Okay guys, that's part 7 of my Nintendo DS collection. Tell me what you think. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and God bless. Oh, I also want to give a shout out to all my new friends on YouTube.com. I now have 90 subscribers, and I want to give a shout out to all my new friends on OneUp.com. You guys have a great week. Bye now.